I gave all the information and all the game to Alexis, Aaron, whoever wanted it. I didn't care about going home. I didn't want to play the game. I wanted a real experience. If it wasn't real, I didn't want it. So I knew the game. I knew, you know what I mean? One of the castmates looked at me and was like, how'd you let those two girls play you like that? You know what I mean? And I said, I knew what was going on. There's some things and some aspects, but I refused to play the game back. I'm not a TV person, man. I'm just not. So I know you always bring up it's a game, and he didn't play the game. I knew it was a game going on. I knew how to play the game. I refused to play the game. It was work. It was a waste of my time to try to play the game to get it to me, and it was no benefit for me in that. What to get more camera time to stay on there? I wanted to leave anyway. They were working me to death. So yeah, if I couldn't leave with a relationship, I would have rather left single, and I wasn't playing the game about it. But I understood it was one there. I get it. Told on television.
So you're not the leak. Who is the no? Who's the leak? Somebody is leaking information out, especially about the Kyra situation because Kyra knew.
Here's the thing, and you're a smart.
Somebody
guy.
Leaking.
You're
yeah.
a smart guy.
There's only two people I think it could be. Go on.
Tell you the Kyra and Joelle situation in the retreat where she says that is about 3.5 weeks apart.
Okay.
In film time. So do you really think I told Amber, didn't tell Alexis, Amber didn't tell KG, she held it for 3.5 weeks right there at the retreat at perfect timing all of a sudden just to leak that out to Benicia so they could have her and Joelle can have their own separate storyline? Does that sound more TV-ish or does that sound like somebody actually really leaked it?
Well, someone definitely leaked it because the girls got the information. So somebody definitely did. It might not be you, but I'm saying someone definitely leaked that information.
It was my guess. To be honest with you, I'll say production leaked it. Production said, "Hey, Ron's gone. Say that he said this, and that way we can get this storyline with Joelle and Benicia."
Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to come on and touch on the interviews between Ron and David, who were eliminated or self-eliminated. I still don't know what happened, y'all. With the little black book, aka Kojo. I just discovered his name is Kojo. I always call him the Little Black Book. And his channel is a Little Black Book 91 here on YouTube. If you want to watch both interviews, they are up there. And I noticed this morning he's chopping it. He's got his Storm Monroe hat on and chopping up the interviews. I was, people were in the comments. The comments, so you guys know, when they go live with these interviews or whatever. It's always interesting in the comments, right? But people were saying that the interview reminded them of Jaguar and Storm anyway, because he was kind of just allowing Ron to go on and on and on and on and on. And I feel like Ron he kept looking over to the side like he had a list of stuff he wanted to touch on, which was funny to me. Because I guess he's listening to these videos or what have you. And I just want to say this on behalf of people on YouTube, we're just talking. I don't really, as you guys know, I don't really well, if you probably don't know because this is a new channel, but I don't really recap these shows like that. And I think this one, if I was going to put that kind of work in, it's very hard to do it because it's kind of clear that everything that we're seeing is not what it is. And so I do agree with Ron and David, even though some people are pushing back on them that it's not editing. It is editing. Some of this is editing. I do believe, David, about that. And you can tell because a lot of the stuff that we're watching, it kind of don't make sense. And so that kind of leads you to believe that some of this is kind of edited to make it look a certain way. And so people hear them saying this and they're like, oh, you guys are making excuses. And a little bit they are because your personality, it is what it is. Nobody can make you that way. If you're blowing up about stuff, then that's kind of who you are. If you're taking a certain tone or you're being sarcastic or condescending, if you will, then that's kind of who you are. That's kind of, how you handle things. So they can't make you on that part. But as far as trying to make it look as if David and Liz had some connection or possible romantic connection, they were writing that story. I'm speaking of the producers or whoever, the editing producers are more than likely letting them know how they want the stories to go. And what they're doing is kind of piecing it together to make it look as if David was responding to things that were going on with Liz. You know, and unfortunately for him, it kind of cast him in a bad light. And this is why he's speaking up about it. I think if they would have been more probably fair in the way that they were showing him, that he probably would not be as so willing to give up what's really going on. And Ron as well. I think that, like Ron is saying, if he had all of that type of connection with Amber, we should have saw that on the show. If she honestly had another connection other than Chris, then we should have saw that. But they're trying to make it look as if Chris and Amber had some blossoming romance. And I'm not saying that they don't have some type of connection, but clearly she was weighing her other options. And for me, that kid, when they brought up the whole thing about the kiss, it just sounds like, okay, so you're trying to tell me that Amber went on a date with Ron and just magically discovered she wants to kiss him. And that's kind of, it don't sound right. And so you kind of know that there is some backstory on the outside looking in. You kind of know that there's some type of backstory. The people on the show probably already knew that Amber and Ron were, talking on the phone and texting and, going out or what have you, or meeting up or whatever. And I feel like Chris probably knew that as well. And that's why there's kind of like a slight tension between them, Chris and Ron, because he says Ron taking shots at him, and then he's kind of saying things back about Ron. And so maybe that has a lot to do with it, because he's kind of messing up the way they want to air his relationship with Amber. And I don't know if he's aware of I'm not saying that Chris is in on whatever producers are doing or whatever. I'm just saying he's probably aware that Amber has been going out with Ron. And I feel like that part should have played out on the show. It should have played out when he was going out with Tressa, and not try to make it seem like nobody was interested in Tressa, even though people kept saying in their lives that wasn't true anyway. So I didn't like that. Don't make it seem like people are discriminating against her when they were not. She shouldn't have been on the show if you put people there who didn't like her size. You shouldn't have had these people on the show if they were not open to dating someone her size. You understand? You guys understand what I'm saying? And you guys can let me know how you feel in the comments about all of this. The only other thing, because I can't make this video long, I had it was longer before, but I had to cut down all the stuff I want to say. You guys could just go and watch their interviews over on Little Black Book's channel and kind of see what they had to say for themselves. I'm just giving my opinion on what they had to say. And to be honest, I just kind of believe them about the editing, and that's just my opinion on that. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm watching, and I've been saying this anyway the entire time, it kind of just don't make sense. And it would be better if they would give us little pieces of everybody interacting. And they should make it to where if these people want to hook up outside the show, they have to, while they're on the show, they have to inform the show, and the cameras have to be there. Because I think it was important to show that Amber was not, so into Chris the way they're trying to make that come off. And now, because now people are kind of looking at Amber a certain way and kind of coming at her a certain way in her comments and stuff. But that's kind of not on her, that they didn't want to play up her connection with Ron or whomever else she was there making connections with. And it sounded like Ron was making connections with several people. David may have just felt like, hey, whoever I was looking for is not here, because I felt like he was more attracted to Stacy, but whatever was going on between him and Stacy, it just didn't, for whatever reason, did not connect. I can't right now get off into that. But I thought the interviews were interesting. I like that, Little Black Book came back to David about the ex-wife, and they, like men, they kind of just talked that out. And then whatever David was saying, I guess he made some comments about Kojo on one of his lives, and so he kind of touched on that as well. I'm not sure if they're going to interview with Crystal. Crystal normally interviews with the person that is eliminated off the show as well, and that's usually on a Monday or a Tuesday. So I'm curious to see if she's still going to interview them. I still want to watch it because I feel like there is a different, women kind of ask different questions, right? And so I still want to see how David and Ron handle that interview with her, especially since they're not giving us the lives right now. I guess because they're coming to the end, the show don't want them to do a lot of talking because Cairo kind of went live and said she's not going to go live today. So, yeah, that's why I just came back and I said, let me just redo this video and I'm going to make it shorter as well and just get straight to the point. She's not going to go live today. The show do not want her to speak on certain things. And she said just everybody to hold their questions. But and I appreciate that Kojo is cutting these interviews down because they're both 2 hours, so that's 4 hours, and I'm sure everybody don't have that kind of time to give up. So he's going to cut them down to where you can go and just kind of catch pieces of the different topics that they're both guys are speaking on, David and Ron. So you can go over to his channel and kind of see them touch on certain topics instead of sitting through the whole 2 hour interviews like I did. Um, but let me know what you guys think about it. If you were in the live with Kojo, because I kind of caught the end of the David one. I didn't see the Ron live, but I caught the end of David's live. Let me know what you thought about the interview and some of the stuff David had to say. Yeah, about everything. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.